All right, welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today, folks, and we're tackling a real-life career dilemma.
Ooh, juicy.
Yeah. This is something I think a lot of us struggle with. It's like, how do you find that balance, that sweet spot between doing what you love and, actually being able to
pay the bills.
Pay the bills, exactly. And our case study today is Priya.
Love her name.
I know, right? And her story comes to us from this really insightful YouTube video.
I saw that one.
So, to set the stage,
Okay.
Priya is facing a classic dilemma. She gets 2 job offers.
Lucky her, too.
I know, right? But here's the catch. One job is like her dream job, but the pay, not so dreamy.
The classic struggle. Passion versus practicality.
Exactly. And the other offer. Way more money, but not in a field she's passionate about. It's a tough spot to be in, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've all been there at some point, haven't we? That feeling of being pulled in 2 different directions, wanting to chase your dreams, but also needing to, survive in the real world.
Yeah. So what does Priya do?
Well, she does something I think is super smart. She takes a timeout.
Oh, like a break.
Yeah, like a full-on retreat. She goes out into nature to clear her head.
Smart moves. Sometimes you need to disconnect to connect with yourself,
Totally. And that's where she has this light bulb moment. And she says it out loud, which I love. She says, "Life is beautiful when you do what you love."
I love that.
It's so simple, but so powerful, right?
It is. And you can just tell she means it. So did she go for the dream job?
She did. She took the leap.
Wow, brave. But wasn't she worried about, the money part?
She was. I mean, she's not naive, right? But for her, the chance to do what she loved was worth the financial risk. But, and this is important, it wasn't just about blindly following her passion. She had a plan. She was willing to make sacrifices, maybe live a little more simply for a while.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's about finding that sustainable way to live your passion.
Exactly. It's about making informed choices, understanding the trade-offs and being prepared to hustle a bit. And this is where I think those would you rather scenarios the video throws out are so interesting.
Oh yeah, those were thought-provoking.
Right. So the first one, it asks, would you take a 20% pay cut to work your dream job, or would you stick with the higher paying gig even if it doesn't light you up? What would you do?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, 20% is a big chunk of change.
It is. But for some people, that fulfillment, that sense of purpose they'd get from their dream job, it might be worth more than the money. It really makes you think about your priorities, right?
Yeah, for sure. What about the second scenario?
Oh, that one's good too. It asks, would you take a job that pays really well, but is totally outside your field of interest? Or would you pursue something you're passionate about, even if it means, a tighter budget?
Oof, another tough one. I mean, financial security is important, but then again, spending your days doing something you hate, that doesn't sound great either.
No, it doesn't. And that's why there's no right or wrong answer here. It all comes down to your individual values, circumstances, and goals, right?
Totally. But Priya's story really emphasizes that whole idea of aligning your career with what matters to you.
100%. And you know what? Sometimes it's not even about finding that perfect dream job, right? Sometimes it's about creating a life that incorporates your passions, even if it's in unexpected ways.
Oh, I like that. Like finding ways to weave those things you love into your everyday life.
Yes. Like maybe you have this amazing talent for, I don't know, let's say baking.
Okay, baking. I can get behind that.
Yeah, right. But, running a bakery is just not realistic for you right now. So what do? Maybe you find a job where you can use your organizational skills or your creativity in a different way.
Yeah, and in your free time, you can still bake up a storm.
Exactly. And maybe eventually, those side hustles turn into something more. But the point is, you're not giving up on what you love. You're finding ways to make it work within the realities of your life.
I love that. It's about creating a life that feels authentic to you.
Yeah.
So Priya followed her passion, but how did she actually, make it work financially?
That's a great question. And guess what? That's exactly what we're going to be diving into in our next deep dive.
Well, I can't wait for that. We're sure there are tons of practical tips and strategies we can all learn from.
Oh yeah, tons. We'll be talking budgeting, side hustles, mindset shifts, the whole 9 yards.
Awesome. But before we wrap up today, let's leave our listeners with a little something to chew on, shall we?
Oh, I love a good cliffhanger.
So, think about this. What if Priya hadn't taken that nature retreat? What if she had just jumped at the first offer that came her way? Would she have ended up happy? Would she have even realized she had a choice?
That's a powerful question It really highlights the importance of self-reflection, doesn't it? Like taking the time to figure out what you truly want out of life. Because sometimes we just get so caught up in the day-to-day.
I know, right? It's easy to just go through the motions without really thinking about where we're headed.
It is. So yeah, take a page from Priya's book, folks. Give yourselves permission to pause, to reflect, to dream a little. You might be surprised at what you discover.
Great advice. And thanks to everyone for joining us on this deep dive today. Don't forget to tune in next time for all those practical tips and strategies for making your dream career a reality.
See y'all then.
Bye, everyone.